Hey, LeBron, by the way, 3 threes away from passing Kyle Korver.
Ooh, Kyle Korver can shoot that thing.
Number 7 all time.
So I think folks were overreacting, and sure enough, he's absolutely positively proved me right. I can make a legitimate argument, and Wendy and Iman, I don't know if y'all saw me say this yesterday. Obviously, Michael Jordan is my GOAT. Damn it, that ain't changing. I got 2.
You know, I say Mike, and I say Kobe. You know what I mean? And then everybody else.
LeBron's after that for you?
Definitely.
Let's be real for a second. The tension around LeBron James right now feels different. Not he's declining different, not he's getting older different. This feels like the moment where everyone in the room knows something except him. And that's what makes this whole situation uncomfortable to watch. Because while the NBA is quietly moving forward, expansion teams, new ownership groups, a new generation taking over, LeBron is still acting like he's at the center of everything. Here's the part nobody's talking about. The league has already started preparing for life after LeBron, and they're not hiding it anymore. The NBA opening up expansion bids in Seattle and Las Vegas isn't just about growth, it's about a new era. New cities, new owners, new stars. And ironically, the one guy who spent the last decade saying, "I want a team in Vegas," suddenly says he's not interested anymore? That doesn't just happen. Not with LeBron. Meanwhile, Charles Barkley wants LeBron to retire soon.
I hope he retires soon.
Because if you followed LeBron's career, you know one thing. He doesn't just walk away from power. Ever. From the decision to controlling rosters in Cleveland to shaping the Los Angeles Lakers, everything has always been about influence, control, legacy. So when reports came out that he told The Athletic he's not interested at all in ownership anymore, it raised eyebrows immediately. That's not a normal pivot. That's damage control. This is where it gets dangerous, because the real story isn't what LeBron said publicly, it's what's happening behind the scenes. Expansion teams are now expected to cost somewhere between $7 to $10 billion. Let that sink in. A decade ago, teams were going for $1 to $2 billion. Even when Steve Ballmer bought the Los Angeles Clippers for $2 billion, people thought he overpaid. Now, that looks like a steal. And that price jump completely changed the game. LeBron was never going to own a team outright. He needed a powerhouse investor group. That's where Fenway Sports Group came in. They owned the Boston Red Sox and Liverpool FC, and they were essentially LeBron's ticket into ownership. The idea was simple. They bring the money, LeBron becomes the face, the governor, the guy in charge. But when the price ballooned to $10 billion, Fenway backed out immediately, because they're investors, not gamblers. And just like that, LeBron lost his lane. Not his dream, but his path to actually controlling a franchise. And here's the key part. LeBron didn't just want to own a team, he wanted to run it. There's a big difference. And this is what Charles said.
I hope he retires soon, because I hated the way I retired, because I sucked.
This is where young players usually make a mistake. They think influence lasts forever. LeBron built an entire era around player empowerment. Players forcing trades, picking their destinations, dictating roster moves. That era exists because of him. But what happens when you try to transition from being the most powerful player to being one of 30 owners who all have equal votes? That's where things get messy. According to Stephen A. Smith, multiple NBA owners are not on board with LeBron joining their club. And not just not excited, we're talking about potential resistance, the kind where no matter what group he partners with, they don't want him in the room. That's not about money, that's about reputation. Think about it from their perspective. LeBron spent 20 years bending the league to his will. He influenced front offices, shaped super teams, and pushed the boundaries of player power. Owners watched billions of dollars in assets become more volatile because of player movement. And now that same guy wants to sit at the table with them? Yeah, they're not exactly rolling out the red carpet.
Of age, he's in his 23rd season. He's been to 10 NBA finals. He's a 4-time champion and a 4-time league MVP, and he's a basketball savant. If anybody can figure it out, it's going to be him.
Here's the part nobody is talking about. Legacy isn't just about what you did on the court.
It's about how the people in power remember you when you're done. Michael Jordan wasn't loved by owners either, but he didn't fundamentally change how the league operated. LeBron did, and that makes him a risk. And that's why this whole situation feels off, because if LeBron truly believed ownership was still on the table, he wouldn't be backing away publicly. He'd be doubling down. Instead, he's stepping back, which suggests he already knows the answer behind closed doors. But here's where it gets even more interesting. While all this is happening, his longtime business partner, Maverick Carter, suddenly joins a new venture, something called Project B, a potential rival league. Not in 5 years, not as a concept, something that's actively trying to recruit players right now. And this is where it gets dangerous, because if LeBron can't own a team in the NBA, what's stopping him from building something outside of it?
You could say that LeBron has had the greatest career in NBA history, but that doesn't make him the greatest player in NBA history. He has the greatest career because he has the most points in NBA history.
Project B is reportedly offering players equity, not just salaries, ownership stakes. That's something the NBA has never done. Even LeBron, one of the richest athletes ever, doesn't have equity in an NBA franchise. But this new league, that's their pitch. And think about the timing. The same week LeBron says he's out on NBA ownership, his closest business ally joins a rival league. That's not a coincidence. That's strategy. Now imagine this scenario. LeBron finishes his contract, maybe plays one more season, then pivots, not into retirement, but into disruption, helping build a league that competes with the NBA. That's the kind of move that flips the entire narrative, because suddenly it's not LeBron couldn't become an owner, it's LeBron chose to build something bigger. But here's the problem. That's a massive gamble, and it's not 2010 anymore. The NBA is stronger than ever globally. TV deals are exploding. Young stars like Victor Wembanyama and Nikola Jokic are already carrying the next generation. The league doesn't need LeBron the way it used to. And that's the uncomfortable truth.
Say this about LeBron. Number one, I like him a lot as a person. I think he's a nice guy.
LeBron's career isn't ending because he can't play anymore. He's still productive. It's ending because the league has moved on from orbiting around him. That shift already happened, quietly, gradually, but now it's obvious. Even look at the Golden State Warriors situation. Stephen Curry is nearing the end too, but there's no illusion there. There's no "I still run the league" energy. It's more reflective, more realistic. That contrast matters. Because LeBron is still trying to operate like he's the center of everything, and the league is polite, moving on without him. Even MJ has spoken about the comparison.
The best players in the world, if not the best player in the world. I know it's a natural tendency to compare eras to eras, and it's going to continue to happen. I'm a fan of his. I love watching him play.
This is where it gets dangerous. Not for his legacy on the court, that's untouchable, but for how the final chapter of his career is remembered. Because if this turns into a story of denial instead of evolution, it changes the tone. Fans don't forget how you exit. And right now, it feels like LeBron is trying to fight a transition that's already happened. The ownership door might be closing, the league is expanding without him, and younger stars are taking over the spotlight. So what does he do? Double down and try to force his way into power again? Or pivot and redefine what influence looks like in a new era? Because one thing is clear, the version of LeBron that controlled everything, that era is over, whether he realizes it or not. And that brings us to the real question. Is LeBron James still shaping the future of basketball? Or is he the only one who hasn't realized that the future has already moved on without him?